always start with like basics of picking out your fish. So what I'm looking for, yes, the eyes. So I'm looking for a nice clear eye. So you can see on this one, this is really, really fresh. And then if this fish still had the gills, you'd want those bright red gills that I talked about yesterday. And then I'm looking at the firmness of this flesh. You guys all felt it, how firm it was. If you had anything like mealy or soft or like punctures or bruises, that's kind of, not a fish that you would want to purchase. And then just looking at the inside of this, you can see how bright that flesh is. So that, to me, again, this is really fresh. Clear eyes, firm flesh, and color. And then my last will be smell. So, this literally just smells like the ocean. And as Shane said yesterday, there's so many different ways to fillet fish. But I'm just going to do how I was taught by my mentors in Minneapolis. And I start right behind, this is the collar that we learned yesterday. So I always start right behind the collar. And I'm basically cutting just right to the backbone, not through. And again, some people do it differently. So from here, you would take the head off and then make your cuts from the tail up as we saw yesterday. I'm gonna do it a little bit differently just because that's how I was taught. So yeah, I've made my cut and my knife is sitting right on the backbone here. And again, I didn't cut through it. And then what I'm gonna do is turn my knife. And then as Shane said yesterday too, the less sawing you do, the better. So what I'm gonna do is just use the sharpness of my knife. And you can see too, I'm really choked up on this. That gives me a lot of control. And all I'm gonna do is just ride the backbone down. So I'm gonna cut through those ribs, and then there's some bones here. I'm gonna cut through those, and this is like the spine area. So again, I'm not even sawing, you can see. No sawing, I just push through. So, and you saw like some kind of saw marks in that fillet yesterday, but you can see here, nice and smooth. And here's my backbone, pretty good cut. I left a little bit more meat on, but that's okay. Then from here, what I would do is cut my rib off and my belly part. So like that. And then the other side is always a little bit more difficult. So again, starting at the collar. And I'm just gonna feel for my backbone there and just push through. Again, no sawing, just pushing through. So a little bit of pucker mark there, and I left a lot on, but we'll grill that. The second fillet is always a little bit harder to get off. But that's how I was taught, and what I would have done too is scaled it first. Taking the scales off helps kind of push through. Okay? Maybe we'll do another one. This one wasn't my best, but. And then you're just gonna. I'm used to a little bit longer knife. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that on. So like when I'm in the store, we would trim like the tail pieces off, because then I have two nice portion, so what we call retail cuts. So we trim a lot off for the retail cuts. that side's a little prettier. But a little bit different.